Cooking program nationwide, coast to coast on CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm Michael Horn. That's Paul Stern. Hello, Paul. Welcome.
Welcome back, everybody. Coming up on the program, Dr. Oz Garcia.
Is he on, ready to go?
No, he's coming up. He'll be joining us shortly here on the program.
Okay, I have no information on the show today, so you're going to have to lead us.
Okay.
I have nothing but a blank computer screen in front of me, so you go right ahead. I want to run down the guests again so our audience can... I don't believe the blog went out last night.
Okay, well, once again, we'll be getting on into, I guess, German cuisine, talking with the Chicago restaurateur Alain Carr coming up on the program.
Now, that should be good because German, the good Eastern European cuisine, I would think gets its birthplace on the East Coast in the Midwest when people came to this country and started opening up various restaurants, whether it be Italian or whatever. You know, I don't think in the history of the What's Cooking show we have done much on German cuisine. I think a lot of people forget that cuisine. Some people may feel it's too heavy, and I think there's probably the gourmet side of German cuisine. There's the comfort food, you know, that people have had with the the mashed potatoes and the gravies and the things of that nature. But I think there's probably a gourmet side to it now, as there has been with every other cuisine.
Well, it's definitely a very distinct taste. There was once, it's no longer in existence, but there was once a German restaurant, I remember, in my neighborhood. It was called the Bratz Skeller.
Yeah.
And it definitely was a kind of a heavy form of cuisine. I remember often they did a dish that was called Sauerbraten.
What was in that dish, in the Sauerbraten? That's delicious stuff.
It was some kind of, a beef dish, but it was something that I believe that was cooked over a long period of time. Often I would imagine, I guess, in something like beer. But again, this is going back to the days when I was literally a child. And it's been since that time that I have really, truly experienced, I think, such German cuisine. So it'll be very interesting to look into this.
There was always something that I enjoyed, and it is at many German-style restaurants, and at many restaurants, too. I mean, I believe it came to fore again when I say gourmet style, because you had Wolfgang Puck, who did a lot of things with German cuisine and sort of stepped it up a bit, and that was the Wiener Schnitzel, where you have the veal, and it was like breaded veal and that kind of stuff. That is delicious, and that can be done kind of light, but a lot of people won't eat veal because many years ago, I don't believe it's still done that way, they used to keep the young calves just in captivity, not able to run free, and so people, especially animal activists, says, hey, this is not the way to trap somebody and just keep it there and then have that meat. And so I think now the younger steers go run around with the main herd to get the Wiener Schnitzel. They want it so tender. But you would take that Wiener Schnitzel and you would have like a meat tenderizer or whatever, and you pound that down in there and kind of tenderize the meat. And then they would, if they used to heavily bread it, then when they lightly bread it now, I think that's kind of the gourmet style of that. And that, I think, is some German cuisine. Sauerkraut, is very good. I love good sauerkraut. Cabbage, you can get the sweet cabbage as well. All that stuff is very good.
And of course, there's plenty of wines to go with German cuisine as well. And I was having
Rieslings,
yeah, absolutely. I was having some difficulty with some other ethnic cuisines, such as Chinese food. I know a lot of people have said that you can simply pair quite a few wines with Chinese food. But I actually made a couple of trips down to the wine cellar, picking out, unfortunately, a couple selections that did not go over very well. But with German food, that again is not too difficult because there's so many German wines that are available here in the United States.
And they have the Pinot Noirs, they have the reds and that, but they are known for their great Rieslings. And these Rieslings are, people may think, well, I don't like sweet wines. In the old days, they had a lot of sweet Rieslings, and there are some that are out there now based on what style they are, but they have a lot of good dry German Rieslings, and these are great aperitifs. I mean, you take some of these, it's a white wine, and you have this, your saliva buds just start going crazy, a nice little sip of some Riesling, and it gets you ready for a meal, and that's delicious. And they grow them in Germany on these hillsides that are at like 60-degree angles, literally. I mean, this is mountainside fruit, and they have a series of ropes and pulleys, and the workers go up there and pick the grapes and work on the vines, but they have to be attached in a lot of these vineyards to like pulleys and ropes because otherwise they tumble down to their deaths down below the vineyards. I mean, it is probably a spectacular sight, but also a dangerous one to get these good wines to your table. So if you get a chance, these German Rieslings over the years have really changed and are absolutely fabulous.
And of course, many of the early winemakers here in the United States weren't they of German descent?
Oh, they were or they weren't?
They were.
Oh, they were, yeah. They used to be, remember the little Blue Nuns and some of these, they used to have some of those wines that used to come over many years ago. I don't know if Blue Nun was one of the German wines, but there was one that was from Germany, and these are just, even those wines were okay for their day. But now you got to get, if you go and go to a restaurant, talk to a fine wine expert or go to a wine shop, pick up a nice crate dry German Riesling, and that's going to be a real treat. If you even if you don't like white wine, you're going to love these Rieslings. I'll tell you, they are just spectacular. So you've had them, haven't you? Been to some tastings, Paul Stern?
Oh, certainly so. No, a German Riesling is always something that has struck my fancy. It's always nice to, again, crisp, clean tasting. Again, it's a very, very, very pleasant wine. And again, with the German cuisine, again, which I'm not too familiar with, that'll be something at least that can give me some kind of a point of familiarity.
Now, you have tasted some, and you've gone to Wolfgang Puck's restaurants. There are some German items on that menu.
I can't say that I've been to a Wolfgang Puck restaurant at a time when I was dining on German fare.
Wiener Schnitzel is on that menu. There's a lot of good things. Dumpling sometimes comes with the German cuisine. I'm trying to think of it. It's called rouladen, I think it is, where they roll the beef maybe around the vegetable like the carrot or something like that, and that's really a nice thing over there. And put a little toothpick in there and serve those. That's kind of traditional German cuisine. So do we have the? I don't have, as I mentioned, information on our guest that is coming up. Is it who is it that's going to come on with the German cuisine? Alan Carr.
That's Elaine Carr, and
Elaine
of course,
Carr.
coming up next we have Dr. Oz Garcia, going to talk about healthy aging, and which is going to be kind of nice because a lot of people consider drinking, like, what do they say, like at least a glass of wine a day, or perhaps a wine included with your meal, is a way of again helping out the anti-aging process. So we'll find out if there's any truth to that.
Okay,
let's
good.
hope there is.
That's good. Good stuff over there, and I appreciate that. What about television? Been watching anything good? Have you seen that series, The Cape? I've been trying to tune that in, and tried to record it like twice, and I didn't set it to not cancel the recording until I deleted it, and I needed more space for some of the other stuff I recorded, so it was deleted. And I started watching it last night because Eric Joseph in our newsroom had given me the tip that it was going to be on the Sci-Fi Channel. So I have it and started watching a little bit. It looks like it's like a cartoon character coming to life. It looks like a good series called The Cape.
Didn't see that, but I did happen to notice that your friend William Shatner, of course, Captain Kirk himself, has made, I guess, is it the YouTube or the internet rounds, with a little saucy conversation he had with Sharon Osbourne.
Oh, I didn't. What was this on The View or something?
On one of those.
No, it was the CBS show, whatever that.
One of those View type programs, and
Sharon Osbourne is the host there. What did he say?
Just very relaxed, and then one of the other co-hosts made some reference to Bill Shatner during his days on Star Trek, inferring that he was, well, let's just say he sowed some oats.
What does that mean?
Check it out on the internet.
Straight ahead, we continue on CRN.